Hello everyone, welcome to OneID 365. In this demo session, I will talk about identity and access management basics and the syllabus that we are going to cover during the course. A little bit about OneID 365. OneID 365 established in 2021. So far, we have trained more than 100 students in PingFederate, Okta, Are You Ready products. Almost all the students got jobs in various MNCs with good or great packages. So what do we offer at OneID 365? We provide advanced level training. So in one of the slides, I'll show you the topics that we are going to cover as part of this training. And also I'll show you the topics that Ping Identity uh, they cover in one of their trainings. And I'll show you the difference, the level we are going to provide. So you will have advanced level training as part of this course. And we also help you in resume preparation and interview preparation. We'll provide you tips how to approach an interview, how to answer those questions. So we'll help you in that. A little bit about myself. My name is, I'm currently working as Principal Information Security Engineer for one of the top 10 banks in USA. I have about 13 years of experience in identity and access management, and I am CISSP and CCSP certified. These are highly renowned certifications in information security, and I have strong knowledge in PingID products, Ping identity products like PingFederate, PingAccess, Ping1, SSO, and I have worked on ForgeRock, Arc Access Manager, CA SiteFinder. Are you ready? So let's talk about what is information security and what does this information security team does in a company. So every organization will have some sensitive information that they have to protect, like trade secrets. For example, Coca-Cola, right? They don't reveal their formula, how they make Coca-Cola to anyone. It is their trade secret. So that is one of the information that they have to protect, right? Also, for example, banks, they have customer information like credit card details. If somebody steals credit card details, they can misuse those credit card details and customers will not be happy, right? Nobody opens a bank account in that bank if the bank's data or credit card details are stolen. So if you do not protect the data of a bank, if someone steals credit card details, first thing is our trade secret. If someone steals, first thing is the business loss, right? Or share value immediately goes down. Like if someone says the bank data is hacked, no one is going to trust that bank. And customers, you lost customers' trust and they'll be dissatisfied with the company, and you will be getting lawsuits, government fines, penalties that because you haven't protected your data and it is impacting customers. So now we know that we have to protect information that belongs to an organization, right? In order to protect the information in a company or in an organizations, there are various teams that they work. So some teams, like for example, network security team, they concentrate on protecting the network layer, right? Like the routers, firewalls, servers, all the network related uh, components they protect. Application security team, what they do, they concentrate on protecting the application data. Like, for example, you have a teller application, right, where you with deposit or withdraw money from, and those transactions are recorded in the application. So that application level data is monitored or secured by application security team. They'll help. And the database security team, they will concentrate on securing a database. Like they make sure no unauthorized user can log into database or can read the database details or delete details from the database or update all the database related, they take care of it. And cloud security team, they concentrate on securing cloud components, like how to deploy servers in cloud, how to deploy virtual private network in cloud. So they take care of cloud components. And endpoint protection team, um, so they worry about APIs, all that. And all these applications or security teams, they rely on identity and then access management, because identity and access management team, they provide security services, how to log into these components, right? How a user is getting access, how an unauthorized user is denied access to these components, all that is handled by identity and access management team. We are going to take a look in detail in the coming slides. Okay, let's take a look at identity and access management. First, let's understand what is an identity, right? Identity helps us to uniquely identify a person. For example, you can identify a person with their name, but the problem comes when more than one person have same name, right? You cannot uniquely identify them any longer. You need something else other than name to identify that person. So for example, Aadhaar number. Aadhaar number, no two persons will have same Aadhaar number, right? So here Aadhaar number identifies you or the person uniquely. So in this case, Aadhaar number becomes your identity. Similarly, driver's license ID or voter ID, all these are identities of that person. How we can identify a person. So we have seen what is identity, right? So let's understand what is authentication now. Authentication is the process of proving that identity is actually belongs to you, right? So, for example, if you take Gmail, your Gmail ID is your identity. So that's how Gmail identifies you, or other people, they identify you when they have to send an email. So now I know your Gmail identity. I go to Gmail login page and I enter your identity and it asks for a password, right? So here the password is acting or is proving that the identity is actually belongs to you, right? Just because I know your identity, I just cannot log in to your or Gmail with your ID. I have to prove that ID actually belongs to me. And this process is called authentication, and we do that using passwords. In digital world, it is mostly passwords. There are other factors. We will also discuss about those. But this process is same if you go to hotels, if you go to uh, if you buy a bus ticket and get into a bus, or if you go to airport. So airport, right? Let's say you bought a ticket online, right? While buying the ticket, you entered your first name, last name, date of birth, so and so. So what if some person takes your ticket and goes to the airport? Will he be able to onboard? No, right? Because they ask him to show an identity card. Just showing the name on the ticket doesn't make the ticket actually belongs to him. That name belongs to him. They want to make sure that ID actually belongs to him. So they ask for an identity proof. So identity proof is actually issued by Government of India or any government entity, right? So that's how they prove the ID actually belongs to you. In digital world, it is usually done by password. Username and password are verified by the system. So this process is called authentication. So far we have seen what is an identity and what is authentication. So identity is how we identify a person or an entity, and authentication is process to prove that identity actually belongs to that person, right? Now, what is authorization? So authorization is it determines what that authenticated user can or cannot do in the system. For example, let's say you go to airport and you show the ticket, and then they ask you to show identity card to prove that ticket actually belongs to you, and you showed the identity card and they verified your name, date of birth, etc., and you get into the airport, and now you cannot just go and sit in pilot cabin, right? You can just sit in this dedicated seat that is assigned to you. Uh, you cannot sit in the pilot cabin because pilot cabin is only authorized users, only pilot to that specific flight can enter. So that process is called authorization, right? And most of the places you might have seen, right? It says staff only, employee only. So that means those areas, the normal users or outsiders cannot enter. Only you have to be an employee. Employees are authorized to use that room. Just because you're allowed to enter into that building doesn't mean you can enter into that uh, specific room, which is only allowed for staff. Okay, that makes sense? Okay, let's understand single sign-on now. So single sign-on is authentication process where you log into one application and the subsequent logins to other applications are not required. I mean, you don't need to enter ID and password each time you log into an application. So imagine you join a company, a big organization, multinational company. So as part of your work, you'll be doing or you'll be logging in to multiple applications, maybe more than 50, 100 applications you would be logging. So imagine on a daily basis, you have to log into all these 100 applications 100 times. Maybe some applications you open, close more than once. So imagine each of these applications you want to log in, right? It is very inconvenient. Okay. So that's where single sign-on comes into the picture. It adds security and it gives more convenient for users where they just log in once and they don't need to log in or enter ID and password. I mean, behind the scenes, the login is still happening, but just that they don't enter IDs and passwords again and again. Okay, that's the first advantage of single sign-on. You can do this in real time. Like, so just go to your browser, like Chrome browser or Edge browser, if you have a laptop, and log in into Gmail. Okay, and in the next tab, open a new tab. Okay, just go to YouTube. So now you logged into Gmail, and on the new tab, you're into YouTube, right? In YouTube also, you would have logged in with your Gmail account already, but you haven't entered any credentials while logging into YouTube. Okay, same with Google Drive. Open a new tab, log into Google Drive. It won't ask you to enter ID and password. You'll directly take into Google Drive. Go to Google Photos. So all these Google applications, right, they are integrated with single sign-on. So you log into one application, we'll see this actual in while during our training sessions. So we'll see this. I'll show you. But if you want to try, go ahead and give it a try on your laptop. Just log into Gmail, go to YouTube, go to Google Drive, go to Google Photos. Only first time you would be asked to log in. The subsequent logins are they won't be there, right? So now log out, and instead of accessing Gmail first, access Google Photos first. Okay, after logging out. Now it will ask you to enter ID and password for Google Photos, right? Once you log in, open a new tab, go to Gmail, go to any other Google applications. So you would be, you don't need to provide IDs and password. You just logged in. So this process is called single sign-on, where you log in once, and the subsequent logins, you don't need to enter credentials, means IDs and passwords again and again. So this is very convenient. We will see the advantage and disadvantage in depth when we during the session. Okay, and this greatly enhances user experience and need of multiple IDs and passwords, improves application security, improves applications development time. Right, they don't need to worry about um, authentication process, which is handled by a single sign-on system. Okay. Okay. So types of SSOs. So we have a few types of SSOs, mainly enterprise SSO and federated SSO. Enterprise SSO comes into the picture where your company, um, your company in-house, there are multiple teams, right? They develop multiple applications. These applications are all developed by your company. So when we provide single sign-on to these in-house applications, we use mostly enterprise SSO. Um, the products that are offered offering enterprise SSO are PingAccess, ForgeRock, SiteFinder, Archil Access Manager. And then the other type of SSO we have Federated SSO, where in this case your user, your company's users are trying to log into um, a product that is developed by a different organization, and your company is only uh, by your company is only bought the licenses and using it. Your company actually not developed those products, like Microsoft Office is developed by Microsoft, but if your company would be using it, right? Or ServiceNow, Salesforce. These are the popular Workday. These are the popular federated SSO. In federated SSO, we have like SAML, WSFed, OAuth, OIDC protocols that are used. So just remember, the federated SSO is um, mostly used for the applications that are developed by different companies. You can still use these protocols, SAML, WSFED, OAuth, OIDC, for the applications that are developed within your company as well. But most of the outside companies, they use one of these. Okay. And the products that support Federated SSO or PingFederate, Ping1, ForgeRock supports both, and Azure AD, Okta SiteFinder again supports both Enterprise SSO and Federated SSO. Same with Archive Access Manager. Most of the products they support both. Most of the companies they might be having only one product, and some companies they might be having more than one. Okay. Okay. This chart talks about Gartner's Magic Quadrant for access management companies. Okay. So Gartner is a quite popular company. It does its own research and then evaluates products and put them into different categories like visionaries, niche players, and challengers, leaders. So the products that the companies that are in the leader section, that means they have very good identity and access management product, and they know where they are heading to. They have a clear understanding, and they have very good participants. So you can see Ping Identity is here. So the products we are going to talk about are PingFederate and PingAccess comes under this. Okay. Okay, let's talk about on-prem and cloud. What is the difference between? So when you join a company, your company would have servers, right? So where you deploy applications, all this infrastructure. So on-prem, in the sense, your company only builds the data center, and your company only buys the or installs the servers, network components, everything. Everything is owned by your company, right? You can deploy your servers, applications within your data center. But cloud is uh, managed by third-party providers, and you can deploy the servers, deploy applications, all that through or over the internet, right? You don't deploy, you don't manage any hardware, right? You will only use a third party provider's servers to deploy your applications. So this is part of virtualization. We'll talk about this in detail, but just remember, cloud is somebody else's data center. You're going to deploy application in somebody else's data center, a third party like Microsoft Azure is one cloud provider. Amazon AWS is one cloud provider, right? Google has Google Cloud Provider. I think now everyone's starting it. So your company doesn't own any servers in this case. You'll only deploy virtual uh, servers into the cloud provider's infrastructure. So we'll talk more about it. Just remember that cloud is somebody else's data center where you deploy your servers application. On-prem is where your company owns the data center and the servers, everything. You deploy applications inside your own servers. Okay. Okay, some of the IAM solutions. So where we have cloud solutions are Okta, Azure AD, Ping1, ForgeRock also has cloud. That means you don't deploy anything for these products. As I mentioned, all these products, they are cloud. All you do is they'll provide you one URL. You open up the browser, you log into the application, that Ping1 or Okta console, and you create single sign-on or IAM solution there. On-prem solutions where you have to deploy the product on a server, right? And then you manage that application, like starting, stopping, upgrading to a newer version. All that will be done by your team. Okay. And some of these products are PingFederate, ForgeRock, Sitefinder, OAM, PingAccess. So in on-prem solutions, you'll deploy a product in one of your server, and in cloud solution, you don't deploy anything. It's all ready-made. You just access license, access the application. Okay. Most of the, like for example, cloud solution is right. One of the cloud solution. So let's say you bought a laptop, right? And you want to store, let's say, movies, files. You either store it on your laptop or you can buy an additional hard drive, right? And additional hard drive, maybe 5,000 rupees, maybe may cost you. Or that is on-prem solution, similar to on-prem solution, where you are purchasing an external hard drive and you are storing files there. What is the cloud solution here is, let's say, let's take example of Google Drive, right? You buy license of the Google Drive for 100 GB, 200 GB, and you upload your files there into Google Drive, and um, and then you can access it. You don't need to buy hardware. So you are using, I mean, your file still stored in Google Drive, maybe some drive in Google data center. It's just that you don't buy the hardware. You don't buy a hard disk to store files. So that is very basic example of on-prem versus cloud. Hope you understand. So in our case, on-prem IAM solutions where you will have to buy hardware, I mean, you in the sense your company, and you'll install the hard operating system, you'll install PingFederate software, and we'll see this in our lab, and you will install everything and you manage everything. In cloud solution, you don't install anything. Everything is taken care by cloud provider. They'll just give you one URL. Just go to the URL, log in, and perform the actions. Okay, important. So now we know what are cloud IAM solutions, what are on-prem IAM solutions. We know that PingFederate and PingAccess, they fall under on-prem IAM solutions. And these products are developed by Ping Identity, is the organization which was established in 2002. And Ping Identity, it provides identity access management solutions, and Ping Federate is the Federated SSO solutions. So we know what is Federated SSO solution. Federated SSO solution is where you are uh, providing SSO to the external applications which are not developed by your company through one of the federation protocol like SAML, WSFed, or OIDC. We will see these in very detail in our training. Currently, version 12 is released for PingFederate, and PingAccess is the access management solution which provides enterprise single sign-on using agent-based SSO or gateway-based SSO. Currently, version 8 is released, and we will not talk about Ping ID product or Ping directory product, but these are some products that you may need to know that these are also from Ping Identity company. And now ForgeRock also is acquired by Ping Identity. So ForgeRock was a different company earlier. It is acquired by Ping Identity, I think last year, and we don't know yet what is their path forward, whether they're going to keep ForgeRock or not. Usually, if one company is acquired by other company, they slowly stop the other product and they they continue only one product. Okay, we will see that in the coming years. But just remember, ForgeRock is also acquired by Ping Identity company. So some of the syllabus that we are going to cover is we will go through what is PingFederate and how to install it, what are the deployment methods. Then we'll cover Federation protocols, SAML, OAuth, OIDC. Then we'll talk about SAML, all related to SAML, right? Like IDP, SSO, SP, SSO, adapters. We'll talk about everything. Okay, all these are basic topics, and we'll cover what is OAuth, OIDC, and their grant types, and then we'll talk about PingAccess. We'll also talk about how to use Postman and troubleshooting. All these are part of basic training. We'll cover everything. And then some advanced topics you should know. Okay, you should know some advanced topics. These are ordinal expressions, authentication policies, adapter to adapter mappings, all this. Along with advanced topics, basic advanced topics, we'll also cover how real-time calls happen. What do they ask in the interviews? How do you update your resume, etc. Okay, all that we'll talk about. Then this is the official site. If you want to go, you can go and check to see what are the topics that they are offering and what is the cost. So this training is actually provided by Ping Identity, which costs about $3,000. That will be 2,40,000 rupees, right? And only half of the basic topics are covered in the training. It's a 3-day training. They provide only installation basic topics. If you want to go and take a look, just go to this and find out training, and it will show you the actual cost. Okay. We are covering a lot. We are covering everything that you need to do your job on your own. Okay. So some of the job posting look like this. So when you search for single sign-on or jobs, right? So mostly you'll get these protocols. So knowledge and PingFederate protocol, SAML, OIDC. So you can apply for these products. So if you learn one product, you can apply for anything like PingID, Ping1, Azure. So all those you can apply. So doesn't mean if you learn Ping Identity, you cannot work on Okta. You can still, because the protocols are same, everything same, just how you use the product is going to be different, but the fundamental protocols are same. Okay, so you can, if you learn PingFederate, you can still apply for Azure, Okta, those kind of products, those kind of jobs. Okay, so this is one example that how you can search for jobs. And the other example, yeah, here they say, see, Okta/Ping Identity/ForgeRock/Microsoft Entra are equivalent solution. So if you learn one, you can apply for anything, all these IAM products. Okay, because the fundamental protocols are same, implementing single sign-on with OIDC, right? All that, the fundamental concept will be same anywhere. You can apply for all these types of jobs. Okay, hope that makes sense. These are some of our previous students who got placed, got training from our institute. Shruti, she was working for 8 lakhs and then got 22 lakhs package. Ram Mohan, 6 to 17. Kalyan Ram, 7 to 17. Ashwini, 2.5 to 13. You can see here, right? They all got placed in MNCs with good packages. Okay, so yeah, this is the basics demo. We will provide you in-depth training and will provide you all you need to sustain in this job. I mean, I can teach you, and if you have any questions, if you do not understand in explanation in English, I can explain in Telugu as well. So feel free to ask any questions anytime. See, the training, how much ever I explain, right? It is all depend on you. So you will need to practice, 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 and practice the interview questions that we provide, right? Practice the topics that we cover. So practice is the only thing that can help you.
Hello guys, I am Kalyan, managing 1ID 365 Institute. మీకు ఇక్కడ కోర్సుతో పాటు రియల్ టైము, ఇంటర్వ్యూ హెల్ప్ అండ్ రెజ్యూమ్ బిల్డింగు, మీకు అంటే మాకు తెలిసిన హెచ్ఆర్స్కి అందరికీ మీ రెజ్యూమ్ ఫార్వర్డ్ చేయడం అన్నీ చేస్తాం. మీకు జాబ్ వచ్చేంత వరకు అన్ని స్టెప్స్లో తోడుగా ఉండి జాబ్ వచ్చాక కూడా సపోర్ట్ చేస్తాం. కొన్ని వందల ఫ్యామిలీ స్టేటస్ మార్చిన అనుభవం మాకుంది. మీరు బాగా ప్రిపేర్ అయితే మిగతావన్నీ మేము చూసుకుంటాం. ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే నా ఫోన్ నెంబర్ కాల్ చేయండి. 9704443164. కళ్యాణ్ నా పేరు. ఓకేనా? థ్యాంక్ యూ.